Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Sunday, August the 12th, and we're back in the kitchen today. I promised y'all yesterday that we were going to cook some red beans and rice. So let's get the red beans started. So this is what I purchased at Walmart about a month ago. These are Jackrabbit, but you can buy Goya or, you know, any kind that you want. But they're just light red kidney beans. Now, if you can find the dark red kidney beans, they're also good. They have a thicker skin on them. So what I did, I put the beans in a pot of water last night, and they've been soaking about 12 hours. Now, you really don't want them to soak more than 12 hours because they will sour. So this is what the pot of beans looks like. I just, covered them in water, and they're nice and soaked really good. So I have the fern underneath there. So let's get started with all of the ingredients. I don't usually measure things, because I just cook from the measurements that are in my brain. But for the purpose of the video, I did try to measure some things, so we'll go over that. Now I have my bacon grease from the BLT that I made yesterday. So let's get that hot. And then I want to show you, I bought this sausage. I like the Polska kielbasa. But you can use, beef sausage or turkey, whatever you prefer. But you will need the link sausage. And this is a 14-ounce package. It's, they cheat us now. We don't really get a pound of anything anymore. It's 14 ounces. Okay, so what I did, I thawed out a chicken thigh and I boiled it, and I have a cup of fresh chicken broth. So I'm going to add that to the beans. That will give it a lot of flavor and seasoning. And then the thigh, I'm going to cut it up for my lunch and make a chicken salad. Okay. Now I have the sausage cut up. I like it. You can cut it in, just single slices or halves or fourths, however you prefer, to eat it. So we're going to just put the sausage right into the beans. I don't brown it or cook it. It's going to be cooking, 3 or 4 hours in the pot of beans. So here we go with the sausage. I should have emptied some of that water out because I don't have a whole lot of room in my pot, but let's see if we can get everything in there. Okay, so I have my Trinity, which you all who are familiar with New Orleans cuisine, this is a bell pepper, 1 whole bell pepper chopped. I have a yellow onion chopped. And then I have about 3 stalks of celery chopped. So what we want to do is, this is the Trinity, and then the Pope is the garlic. And I have 4 cloves of garlic. I don't mince it. I just kind of, slice it a little bit because I love garlic. So, okay, I think my bacon grease is warm. Now we better wait another minute. Okay, so what we want to do is, add some seasonings. Now, I don't know how to measure the seasonings because I've always just dumped it in, but, so that y'all will kind of have something to go by. I did measure. I have 1/2 teaspoon of the Tony Chacheres, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of Mrs. Dash. And what I did, I just kind of, poured all that in this little cup. So we're going to add this to our red beans. Now what we want to do with the Trinity and the Pope is just saute it in this bacon grease for a few minutes. Now I don't really like for it to be brown, so we're just going to cook it for a minute until it gets to what I call wilted. Now, if you want to be fancy about it, I reckon you could say transparent, but this is not a fancy kitchen. This is a southern kitchen. So we're going to cook these until they just get a little wilted. Y'all, I know I'm going to have to add more salt and pepper to these beans, but we'll figure that out later. Okay, so like I said, I just want to kind of saute the Trinity, and then I kind of put the Pope in last because I do not want brown garlic in my red beans. I better take a little bit of this juice out, although I hate to, but I got to make room for my Trinity and the Pope. Now there are a couple of my friends on YouTube that I want to give a shout out to. Y'all know that I believe in being generous and sharing each other's channels and, you know, helping one another grow. One of those channels is I'm Not Chuck. He does instructional videos and tutorials and, you know, how to put things together and how to fix things and make things. But he also does historical videos. And one of those, he went on the Trail of Tears, and he tells a story about this Indian squaw. Her name was Talani. And he shows us that Trail of Tears, and he gives the history of it. I'm not going to say anymore because I don't want to give it away, but he has 945 subs. So let's see if we can't get him another 55 subs today and get him up to that 1,000 mark. And it's I'm Not Chuck. The other one is, she's a fairly newcomer to YouTube. And her name is Nina. And her channel name is The Life of Nina, Nina. And she was stuck at 49 subs for the longest. And she is up to 51 now. So let's get her up to 100 subs this weekend. She does cooking, and she tells stories kind of like I do, but her stories aren't quite as saucy as mine. And she does a Bible study on Fridays. So y'all just go over and check out The Life of Nina, Nina. And then another woman that I've just recently became friends with, gosh, she's only posted about 4 videos. She's just learning. So just go over and give her a little love and encouragement. And her name is Colette Millette, and that's Colettete. Malette. She has 18 subs, so let's get her up to 50 if we can. Okay, so I think the Trinity is wilted, so we're going to put in the Pope, a little bit of garlic here. And this is, well, this garlic bulb that I bought at Aldi, it was kind of small, so I think this is about 5 of the little tiny little garlic pieces. I call them toes because they look like a toe, garlic toes. So we're just going to let that wilt a little bit. Let's see if I can think of another story about Dr. Steroid. You know, I'm going to add some salt and pepper to my Trinity and the Pope. Let's just put a little Tony Chacheres in there and a little salt. Some black pepper. And get this Trinity and the Pope seasoned up real good. So, boy, I'm glad I saved that bacon grease, y'all. I know y'all remember your mama having a can a stainless, or I don't think it was stainless steel. I think Dort's was aluminum, but an aluminum can sitting on the stove that said grease, and every kind of grease in the world went in there. Chicken grease, bacon grease, if you fried a ham or whatever, or cooked a ham, you know, whatever kind of grease. And that's a grease that she used to cook everything in. Okay, I'm going to put you back down in the sink. Okay, so I think that is wilted. Okay, I'm going to move this off of the front burner and then scoot my beans over here to the front. Of course, I love cooking on the front burner, but when I'm at Jill's, Issa loves to be in the kitchen with me, so I have to always try to remember to, you know, to cook on that back burner, because I sure don't want that baby to get burned. I'm just mad at myself because I put the chicken broth in here before I drained off some of the water. Now, I know y'all have big old pots and Dutch ovens and everything, and I really wish that I had a bigger pot, because this little crock pot is just not quite big enough, but we're going to manage with what we have. Okay, so here goes the bacon grease and the Trinity and the poke into the beans. I gotta scoot on, trim off some more. You know, I'm gonna save this juice. I'm gonna put this juice in the skillet. That way, when it does cook down, I can just put this this broth and all back in here instead of adding water. So now I won't feel so bad about skimming some of the juice off of it. But I may look for me. I can find me a big pot at the Goodwill. So I think I might do that next time I'm over on that side of town. Okay, and then I want to add a few shakes of the McElhenney Tabasco sauce. We'll just put a little bit of that in there. And then my secret ingredient is Liam Perrin's Worcestershire sauce. So we're going to put a few shakes of that in there. And we're going to cover these beautiful beans up and just let them cook for about 3 hours. Now, the reason I'm cooking them on top of the stove and not in the oven is because I want to be able to come back later today with a second video and show y'all, you know, the beans that are cooked. Normally, I would put them in the oven. I would put them in a 400-degree oven for about 15 minutes, and then I would turn it down to 250 and just let them, you know, slow cook in that oven for 7 or 8 hours. But for the purpose of the video, we're going to cook them on top of the stove. So let's go in the living room, and so here they are. They're going to be boiling in a minute. Let's turn the fire down. I don't want them boiling over. Let's see if I can think of some more nanny stories to tell y'all. Okay, so Dr. Steroid, y'all know that he would go deer hunting, and then he would, ooh, I'm hot. Let me turn the fan on me. So, you know, he would go deer hunting and then have the deer hanging up from the deck on the outside for the bloodletting. And also he would plant a garden every spring, and then he would go sneak out there and sit with his shotgun and wait for a little rabbit to come into the garden, and then he would shoot it. You know, I would get up and go downstairs he would get up around 6 and you know, go rabbit hunting, and then he would leave at 7 and go to the gym and work out after he gave himself a steroid injection. But anyway, I would come down and open the refrigerator to get the milk out and the eggs and everything to cook breakfast for the children. And there would be a skinned rabbit in the refrigerator. And Dr. Steerboard would always, in the evening, at nighttime when he watched TV, you know, these made for TV things, you know, and all these infomercials and everything. Well, he loved buying all that stuff. So he bought this rotisserie oven. And so he wanted me to cook that rabbit in that rotisserie oven, which he called the set it and forget it. So we got Bambi hanging off the deck back here, bloodletting, and then I got the Easter Bunny in the set it and forget it. Oh, Lord. So this video is getting too long, and then I'll be back in about 4 hours with these red beans, and we're going to cook us a pot of rice to go with them. And y'all just keep on coming back. Bye.